When you think of underrated Sonic games, what do you think of? Maybe Sonic and the Secret Rings? If you're feeling a little funky, maybe you'll pick, I don't know, Sonic Shuffle. 8 years ago, you might have said Sonic Unleashed. This deleted Redditor did. You can't say it anymore though, because, well, obviously. Anyways, I have a new answer for what I would consider the most underrated Sonic game. And that game is... So that is my pick for the most underrated Sonic game. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember to like and subscribe. What? What do you mean you didn't hear the game I picked? You mean I have to do my whole explanation again? Okay, fine. So back in April 2023, we got a Sonic game called The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. The game dropped on April Fool's Day and was released the same day it was announced. Right out the gate, the game did tremendously well. It was one of the first Sonic games in a long time to receive what seemed to be unanimous praise across the board from both critics and fans. Now you gotta understand that this is quite the feat for a franchise like Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, with many of Sonic's previous titles, the fans might love it, but the critics, well, they hate it. Or alternatively, the critics like it and the fans are more mixed than anything. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is a gem of a video game and perfect for Sonic fans. Now don't get it twisted, this video is not going to be a review of the game. I already did that, and I'm not in the business of regurgitating myself. That sounded gross, but you get the point. Chances are, if you played this game, you probably liked it or really liked it. So you just might be wondering, why the heck am I saying it's the most underrated Sonic game? Well, that's easy. First, I implore you to really think about what the word underrated actually means. By a quick Google search, underrated means not rated or valued highly enough. Synonyms for the word are phrases like gloss over, minify, or diminish. When I think about the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog and the fan base of the titular character, these words instantly come to mind. Why, you ask? Because people stopped talking about it. You might say, well, with the excitement of games like Sonic Superstars and Sonic Frontiers Update 3, well, people just forgot about it. I don't see anybody forgetting games like Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Unleashed. Oh yeah, I put the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog up there with games like them, and you'll see why in a minute. Even still, if you disagree with me on that point, one thing about this franchise remains undeniably true. If a Sonic game is great, it will be remembered. If a Sonic game is bad, it can't be forgotten. It's 2023 and people still use Sonic 06 in their talking points for a new game review, or that stupid phrase,
Sonic had a rocky transition to 3D.
Think about some of the Sonic games that are deemed fantastic. You've got Sonic Mania, Sonic Generations, or maybe even Sonic Colors. These games are constantly remembered in both the hearts of fans and critics, and even seen as the staple for the Sonic the Hedgehog series. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is underrated because it has scores that are just as high as these, but doesn't receive as much attention for these three reasons. Firstly, the game itself was exclusive to PC. It was never released on consoles like Switch, PlayStation, or Xbox, which is a massive shame because I think it would have benefited greatly from it. Secondly, it had a very small scale release. Like I said earlier in the video, the game was announced the same day it was released. From the outsider perspective, there was no room to get hype for it, and there were zero expectations. All in all, there was just nothing. As I was looking for reviews of the game, I had even noticed that some of the big game reviewing companies hadn't even said a word about it. It's as if the game was made specifically and maybe even exclusively for the fans. Thirdly, people don't really consider it a Sonic game because it isn't your traditional Sonic gameplay. Now, when you think about Sonic gameplay, you think boost formula, or adventure formula, or one of the various formulas in between. You don't think about reading. I make it sound like a bad thing, but it's something I personally really enjoyed. You can see why when you watch my review of the game. Link is in description. The gameplay, I think, is one of the major contributing factors as to why this game isn't talked about much. There just isn't anything to critique outside of the dialogue. But even then, these characters are written to perfection. With the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, fans can't complain about Sonic's momentum or lack thereof. What you have here is Sonic tapping into an entirely different genre of gaming, and as of this moment, it can't be compared in the gameplay aspect to any other Sonic game. So now, let's talk business. What needs to change? Well, for starters, I think it's two factors. Firstly, we fans should be gassing this game up like a car on a freeway. We need to talk about this game more, which is precisely the reason why I wanted to make this video in the first place. Secondly, I firmly believe that Sega should have this game ported to consoles in some way, shape, or form. I don't have a ton of experience with visual novels, but I have the Ace Attorney trilogy on my Nintendo Switch. I know I will be sure to play the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog there as well. I'll play it a second time, a third time, a fourth time, just put it on consoles, please. This game is underrated, but for the wrong reasons. Rather than just being a fun game that nobody talks about, it's a fun and good game that nobody talks about. It's time to change that because it really is a masterclass of a Sonic game with arguably one of the best stories and dialogue in the entire franchise. I basically summarized my entire video review in like a sentence, but now I want to hear from you. What do you think is the most underrated Sonic game? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. But before you do that, make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notifications bell so you never miss a video from me. You do not want to miss what I have to say. With all that being said and done, thank you so much for watching. This is SONICSTA signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?